I've just been out on deck. It's quite early in the morning. Maybe I went up there about 6:15. I've been up there taking some bits of film. We're quite far north now. Just take my coat off. I've just got some coffee. It's not, with all that lovely warm clothing on, it's actually not that cold out there, but it's very nice to come in and have a cup of coffee by this pretend fire. Not giving off any extra heat. So I'm here now on the Havila Capella, which is the name of the boat I'm on. Is it a boat or a ship? I've been calling it a boat because I like the idea of it being a boat. It's not a massive, great big cruise ship. So we've been underway for a while. We landed in Bergen. I had a little bit of a glitch with my luggage, which didn't land in Bergen at the same time as me. I can laugh about it now, but for 3 days it wasn't very funny because all the kits that I'd carefully packed away to bring with me were all somewhere off in the wind. And so we were reunited with the cases just as we were boarding the ship. And that was exciting, everyone finding their cabins and finding out what the ship was all about. And then we set sail, and this particular boat, stops at ports all the way up the Norwegian coast, delivering goods and picking up goods and taking people who are just wanting to go 1 or 2 stops up the coast, and then doing this longer cruise. Sometimes people are doing the cruise all the way to the north and getting off, and sometimes they're coming from the north back down to the south. Our group is going all the way up and all the way back down again. And today, I hear, we're crossing the Arctic Circle. Now, I've just been out on deck, and yes, the scenery has changed really dramatically. Today it's very moody and misty and atmospheric with snow on the mountains, and so the scenery's changed completely. It's almost like we're going into some sort of a misty, secretive world, which is really lovely. But we started the project that I brought with me on, I don't even know what day it is, guys. I've got a feeling, if I count right, it's Friday. So we started the project properly on Wednesday, something like that. And what I'm going to do today, if the people who are taking part in this cruise are willing and up for this, I'm going to show you what the project is, what they're doing, and now, this is what I absolutely love about what I'm doing. I've devised this plan for what we might do. I've got the paper templates, I've got the cotton, I've got the fabrics, and I've got a few little accent fabrics that they might use. And what I love is people get hold of that idea and then they run with it in all sorts of different directions. They've been given these materials and equipment, and off they go. Now, this cruise consists of a lot of people who are really interested in crafts, and lots of people who brought knitting and their own projects, own sewing projects. There's 3 full-size quilts on this cruise, which the girls were happy enough for me to take a little bit of film yesterday, so I'll pop that in here. Absolutely beautiful. 2 trips around the world and 1 3/4-inch hexagon. So Arne and Carlos have done this cruise many times, and they usually bring a knitting project with them, and some of the same people come over and over again, and so they've become friends. And this trip is different because they invited me to come with my sewing project, and also open the invitation to come up to a lot of my patrons, which was really lovely. And the people who have come, quite a lot of them are from my group, so it's been lovely. We've got a little bit of lime green sofa going around the top deck. Actually, I'm on level 6 at the moment, which is where they serve the food. I'm not stupid. We're going to go and have breakfast soon. But level 9 on the top deck, where I've been taking all these fantastic pictures I've been showing you of the moody mountains and the snow and But inside there's a big observation lounge, and we pretty much set up shop there and colonised the whole of one area of that. And so I brought all the kits in a suitcase that used to belong to Arne and now has been given back to Arne. But Arne loves thrift shops, and he was in a thrift shop in Alesund, and he bought another suitcase which is smaller. So we've put all the things, the kit, the fabrics, the bits, the spares, the scissors, all that in this suitcase, and now I carry it around. I look like Paddington Bear. And when you open up the suitcase, all the samples, the things that people need to see are all in that suitcase, and it's great to have it all in one place. And also when people see it, they know that that's where we are and that's where we're doing our sewing. And so this ship stops along the coast, and we've stopped at little places and got off and had a little wander around. Or yesterday we went to the place that makes the folk costumes that Arne and Carlos, if you follow Arne and Carlos, you'll know what I'm talking about. They're very patriotic and very proudly Norwegian, and the Norwegian people have got a real sense of pride in their country. It's really nice. I mean, they've only been independent for 100 years or so, and so they've got this national pride. And the folk costumes are specific to different areas, and they're phenomenally expensive, and they take 6 months to make, and they're, you know, very, very traditional, and people wear them on Independence Day, which is, I think it's May 17th, something like that, and they wear them at Christmas, for weddings, christenings, all of that. So these folk costumes are very, very important, and it's a lovely tradition, but it's a living tradition. These people are making them now for people, or adapting them, you know, letting them out a little bit. I don't know how many they take in, but they let them out maybe. I don't know. So we did that yesterday, and that was interesting. I want to tell you about the food. The attitude that Havila have got to as little food waste as possible, and which has resulted in the way that the food is organised and served. So I'll tell you a little bit about that because I find it absolutely fascinating. So the food, first of all, is completely delicious. I haven't had a mouthful of food yet that I haven't really loved. This is how it goes. The menu then, there are the same 4 dishes for starters, 4 dishes for mains, 4 dishes for desserts, and that changes every 3 days. So there's always something that you can order. But you order, and you can order as many as you like. You can order everything if you want to, but you order what you think you can eat, and after the first meal you realise what the system is. And so the waiter, lovely staff here. What lovely staff. I've made friends with all of them. I just love making friends with people, and they're all so lovely. Anyway, they what would you like? So this and this. So like this morning I might have the porridge is lovely. I've had that every morning. And you can have fried food and cooked food for breakfast, eggs, bacon, all of that if you want to. But there's also pastries and muesli and all that kind of thing. So you order what you want, what you think you want from there, and then they bring it and you eat it, and it's lovely. And that's it. You're satisfied. You haven't overeaten, and there's no food waste on your plate because you've eaten it all. And so they've reduced the amount of food waste on this ship by 65%. I haven't eaten a thing yet that I haven't absolutely loved. And the tables are arranged in just like 6 on a table or a round table or whatever. And I'm sitting on a different group of people for every single meal. And it's lovely. I'm meeting so many interesting people and hearing so many interesting stories. Isn't this lovely? I'll let you tip you around and see the fake fire a little bit more. So one of the days, I can't remember which one, I was just walking through this lounge here, and there were 2 of our group sitting in these chairs here, and I came and joined them. And we had a lovely hour chatting all about all sorts of things. I'm loving getting to know these people. And don't you think everyone's got a story? Everyone has got some interesting story, and I'm really enjoying finding out about them all. Such interesting people. And it's so I'm having a lovely time. And there's no one here, so that's good. So I'm going to sit and enjoy my coffee, put my feet up, because there's footstools. It's a little bit lime green sofa here, but it's the wrong colour. I wonder if I could get them to change all the upholstery. Probably not. So I'm here now on the lovely promenade deck with Arne and Carlos.
Hello.
Here they are, and everyone this afternoon is working on their own projects. What are you doing, Arne?
I'm working on 2 projects.
Only 2. So Arne's got this beautiful tablecloth in production.
It takes forever.
Yeah.
But I've done this one and this one.
Aren't they gorgeous?
Very
I
nice.
love them.
And this one. And they're also personal to us because we go to the thrift stores and we find things. And you know, when you put these together, you get almost like a personal relationship with them because
Absolutely. There's so many different ways of basting hexagons or shapes, paper onto shapes, and I love the one that these guys have invented, which is this one with the paper clips.
Yeah.
And it works absolutely perfectly. So on this trip we've got some glue basters, thread basters, some hybrids, we've got some clippers, we've got everything.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You want white also?
Oh, yeah, yes, thank you.
Hey, look, there's a blue one.
Oh, thank you.
You can pull them, can't you?
Yeah.
Look. And
I
then,
have-
but
Okay, perfect.
I need some.
You need some,
from
but
you.
I have more fabric. So while I was planning what project the people might work on, I was looking at all the pictures of the beautiful houses that Norway's famous for, with these shapes and colours, and then all the fabulous colours of the northern lights and the mountains and the sea. And I took as inspiration these things, and I made these 2 bags with the pointed houses and the beautiful colours of the sea and the sky. And then I added in some accent colours with these beautiful Brandon Mabley fabrics and Free Spirit fabrics. And so people could choose what they wanted to from the suitcase to add some accents into their pieces. I loved how people were either thread basting their pieces or glue basting. We had both. I love that. These really funky reflections.
And here are our northern lights up on top.
That's really cool.
Yes, yes. And this will be.
We're busy sewing the sea now.
I'm busy sewing the sea.
And I'm just... When we crossed the Arctic Circle, there was a special ceremony with Njord, the Norse god of the sea, where ice was put down people's backs. Not my back, I hasten to add. Hello again. This morning we came to a town called Kirkenes, and it's the most northern place we'll come to here on this trip. We turn round today and head back south. I've been seeing some absolutely spectacular things, and so this morning everyone's gone into Kirkenes to do the excursions to the Russian border and dog sledding and lots of other things that the cruise offers people to do, extras to do. But I thought that I would stay on board, have a bit of a rest, catch up with things, tidy my room because it got really messy, and I'm going to have a cup of tea now. This is the bottle that the ship gave me on the first day, and I bought myself a big yellow cup because the little cups on board are too small. So I'm having some rooibos tea in my big yellow cup. There's 2 cups in here. It's very good. It's going very well. So this morning then I'm going to, well, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast on this pattern. It's in Norwegian, so I'm not really very confident about how far I'll get with that. So I've chosen this lovely yarn and this pattern in Norwegian, but Arne's here, he can help me translate it, and I'm going to have a go at making something while I'm here. It'd be nice to knit something while I'm on board. There's a lot of sewing going on, and later today when we set off again I'll film some of the way that the people are adapting my project to fit in with what they want to do. It's really marvellous. I think almost no one is making the project exactly as is. They're all taking it off in different directions, which is wonderful. I love that. So much creativity. So I'm going to have a go then at casting on this pattern. It's all in here. Bought this in Bergen. And we're right, I haven't even started it yet, so I'll have a little go this morning, I think, with my cup of tea, and I'll catch up with you soon with some of the film of what people are doing with the project, and also probably quite a lot more beautiful shots of the scenery. So beautiful here, so beautiful. So I'll catch up with you in a moment. Back on deck now, and looking at all these beautiful places that we pass by. Like I said, the ship stops at over 30 little ports, and sometimes they pick up goods or post, sometimes they pick up passengers. I'm here with Jamie, and we've walked all around the deck of this ship trying to find a nice quiet place to film. And we're in the dining room at the moment. I've moved everything around.
The fancy dining room.
We're in the fancy dining room, the Hilring or something.
We just took it over.
We did,
as
and I've moved everything aside. But the reason why I want to introduce you to Jamie is that yesterday she was showing me this project that she's working on, which I think is absolutely awesome, and I want her to explain to you about it.
Well, okay. So I'm a climate change educator in my retirement years, and I'm also a crafter. So I came across this project called the Tempestry Project some years ago, and they made up the word tempestry to be a combination of temperature and tapestry. And tempestry together is what we're creating. So it's a record of temperatures. So in general, this is a tempestry showing 1 year of temperatures for a given location at a given year. This one in particular happens to be 1963 for Oslo, Norway. And so you set a baseline from January 1st to December 31st of temperatures.
A preordained set of colours.
Yes, so anybody who's making tapestries all over the world, they're all comparable in terms of the base colors.
That's
so you
right.
can look right away and say, is this a cool location or a warmer location? And they bear resemblance to each other.
Okay.
So the second part of this project is typically another one. And I'm making the second one, which will be, let's see, we've got this upside down. So the second one I'm making will be 2023, so it's 60 years later.
The same location, but 60 years later.
Right. And so when you lay them next to each other, they'll make a very graphic, clear representation of the climate change, the temperature change, the season change. You can already see how much colder this winter was 60 years ago to this one, which is much warmer. And it's just very intuitive using that scale.
I think of having a visual like this, because we hear a lot, don't we, about climate change and the impact on the environment. And to actually see a visual representation of that. This is why I wanted Jamie to talk to you about this, because it absolutely blew me away how this was such a contrast. So talk a bit more about the project, because I was fascinated by this.
Yeah, the people that started the Tapestry project is it's 3 people actually, the extended family, and they started it 7 years ago when they were worried about data not being preserved on computers in government, for example. And they thought, we should do something else. And one of them happened to be a knitter, and they put their climate change information together with their knitting information and built the project. So when you buy a kit from them, which I do, of course we see people making these all kinds of ways with different fabrics.
There are a lot of temperature quilts and crochet blankets and so on, where people, I've seen them, loads of them all over the internet, and people are taking that day's temperature and allocating a colour to it. But this isn't that. That's what I liked about it. This is historic. So we can go right back, as you have, to the 60s to get this finished one here. Mm-hmm. I love that. I really do. So I'm going to do this.
So you can, of course, you could make all this up on your own, but the kits are well worth it, in my opinion. That I've made all of them, and I've supported this little family business because I think they've done something unique. And in addition to giving you this universal chart, they send you just as much yarn as you need for your project, depending on where you are in the world, and a detailed day-by-day listing of the date, the high temperature. This is all high temperatures. You could probably do lows if you wanted to, but I've always done highs. And then it tells you what color yarn on this chart goes with that day. So they send you little bits of yarn so you don't have waste when you're left over.
Yeah.
And
you're knitting this with a linen stitch, you were telling me.
But you can do it with garter stitch or anything you want, really.
Crochet
or weave.
Yes.
There are many on their website showing photos of different ones that have been made, and in museums, and they're in the press quite a bit.
And I think what's genius about this particular project is, yes, you can make your own up and allocate your own colours to your own temperatures, but these ones will compare with everyone else's. Mm-hmm. Brilliant. So you're knitting your second one now?
Second one, I'm up to the end of March, so I'm 1/4 through the year.
March last year.
Yeah, and this is a gift for someone who lives near Oslo, so I thought it would be appropriate to choose a location that would be meaningful, because when we see one of these from a place we know, it's so much more impactful.
Much more than just reading about the data. So you're going to help me choose my kits now?
Sure, I will.
So thanks for telling us about that.
Sure, thanks for asking. Since I do this as my volunteer work, the work I care about, I appreciate it when someone else can.
I'm thrilled with it. So check the description below for the link to Tapestry, and also check back with me in maybe a year's time, see how my 2 scarves are coming along. Thanks a lot. So Jamie helped me choose 2 kits, one from the year I was born and one for last year. So thanks, Jamie. Let's see how they work out. Also, while I was on board, I made friends with some of the staff, and the chief engineer, Per, allowed me to go down to the engine rooms to see what powers this ship, which is battery power for some of the time. And up on the bridge, these are the charts and the instruments that the people use there to safely navigate us through these waters. It was really kind of the staff to indulge me in this way, and I made far more video than I can put on here. This video is already really long, and so I'm going to put all of this extra stuff over on Patreon if you're interested in some of these things. There were so many wonderful excursions offered from this cruise ship, and I took the one on the last full day to the Atlantic Road, which is this amazing road that was built to connect small communities instead of ferries, and James Bond was filmed on here apparently. And this trip culminated in a visit to the marble mines, which were absolutely spectacular. So these little wooden boats are steered by electric battery, so it's completely silent, through these caves that are these caverns that are made from blasting marble out of this area for over the last few decades. And now it's a beautiful ethereal waterway. The water is 12 metres deep and clear as crystal. And the staff here have put on a fantastic light show and beautiful music playing. It was absolutely stunning. So this cruise was coming to an end, and we all met on deck for the last photograph of the whole group all together, with Arne and Carlos and me and all the people who took part in what we were doing, and it was absolutely wonderful. And so thank you so much for watching this jigsaw of a video of me putting together all the clips from the Norwegian cruise. And I hope you've enjoyed it. I really do. And subscribe and like and give me a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. And I will see you next time, back with more usual content on the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and did I see the aurora? Yes, I did.